Design thinking and making, defined as a form of integrative problem solving that uses both analytical and generative tools germane to the design process. In this video, we will take a look at architectural designers, Charles Eames and AKKA architects, and compare and contrast their unique ways of design thinking, as well as look at examples of how their design thinking manifested and influenced the history of design. Our first designer we begin to explore is Charles Eames. Charles Eames, an American designer, architect, and filmmaker that worked alongside his wife, Ray Eames, was a pioneer of design. They were iconic designers that heavily contributed to the development of modern architecture and furniture. The Eames opened their own design office, the Eames Office, where innovative and creative thinking led to the production of many well-known designs, including but not limited to the Eames House, the Eames Lounge Chair and Ottoman, and the film The Powers of Ten. Eames defined design as a plan for arranging elements to accomplish a particular purpose. He was a strong believer in design being functional, but walked the tension of art and practicality, questioning whoever says pleasure isn't useful. Eames claimed that the key to his design thinking process is constraints. He argued that design is defined by the sum of all constraints, and the mark of a great designer is his or her passion, enthusiasm, and willingness to work within such constraints, such as price, size, strength, balance, surface, time, and more. Each designer has their own unique sets of constraints. The Eames video, The Powers of 10, takes us from the scale of 10 to the negative 16th out to 10 to the power of 24. This video exhibits a manner of thinking in which it is important to be able to reframe the problem. The ability to dive deep into the detail of a scenario while conversely being able to take a step back and reconsider from a broader context. It pushes designers to assess things in terms of life-based design, rather than just human-centric, as the scales are adjusted and revisited throughout the design process. Our second group of designers is AKKA Architects, a firm located in North Holland, Amsterdam. AKKA stands for Appreciate, Kernel, Kickstart, and Adaptation. They use this approach to design thinking to create spaces that foster three forms of interaction: creativity, collaboration, and learning. Stephanie Hughes, founder of AKKA, broke the traditional mode of architectural design approach by focusing on interdisciplinary bottom-up design. Step 1 is appreciate. The goal is to deeply experience and better understand who the firm is designing for and what exactly their needs are. Questions such as who is the community that will use this space, or what are different patterns within the users based on their needs, is asked in this stage. Step 2 is kernel. The goal of this step is to create a shared vision. This often plays out through sketches, drawings, and other visual media. This stage is highly interactive. The purpose of these physical vision concepts is to communicate and decide on an idea with the community and to adjust based on the community's insights. Step 3 is Kickstart. This involves design development with community interaction and iteration as very important parts. And lastly, Step 4, Adaptation. This last stage involves fine-tuning adjustments that are made after observation of how users adapt to the space and how the space adapts to users. This includes long-term observation, whether it be monthly, yearly, or quarterly, depending on the space. In conclusion, the success of the designers, individuals, or groups is rooted in their ability and passion to deeply understand the context of what they're designing for. Both designers have a strong sense of a whimsical curiosity that drives them to focus in on who, what, and why they are even beginning to design in the first place. Their design thinking process is heavy on the front end, with emphasis on the brainstorming and consulting others who are impacted by these future designs. It's an integrative approach to design, an amalgamation of environment, people, and scales that result in a very non-linear pathway with well-tested results.